Today we're going to talk about equipment and three very important considerations. We're going to talk about the fit. How important is the grip of that ball in your hand? We're going to talk about the surface. Is it shiny? Is it dull? And how can you control your ball's distance with a shiny or dull ball? And then thirdly, we're going to talk about pin position and how you can manage your hook on the back end by moving that pin left and right on the ball. Fred and Jerry will discuss more, and then you can watch Bill Hoffman and Deandra Asbeatty throw some shots to demonstrate the ideas here. And please remember to always see your local USBC certified coach.
Well, Coach, we talked about the delivery getting to the foul line. We talked about playing the lanes, oily, medium, and dry. We talked about moving back and forth to make the spares. Now it's time to talk about the equipment. And we have three major considerations when we talk about a bowling ball. One, the fit. How that ball fits your hand. You have to go to the pro shop operator, a trained specialist. They'll fit your fingers and your span and your pitches, make it perfect to your hand. That's one. Two, we'll talk about the cover of the ball, whether it's shiny or polished. Then three, we talk about the balance of the ball, or we call it the pin position. So Jerry, let's talk about the grip.
When you go to the pro shop operator, you're looking to develop a fit that allows your hand to relax. What you're looking for are the finger holes to be relatively snug, and they go into that first joint. Then secondly, the span. How long between the finger hole and the thumb hole is that distance? That needs to match your hand specifically. And then the thumb hole. That thumb hole should also be a snug fit. When you look at this, this is a fingertip grip, and really, that's the grip that I would recommend for most people. Unless you're a beginner and you're just getting started, you might use a conventional grip. But the fingertip grip is actually a better grip. You've got more sensitive in you're more sensitive in your fingers, and literally it's not that hard to hold on to. Actually, maybe even a little easier with the fingertip grip.
So the message is to check with your pro shop operator and get that fingertip grip if you want to advance your revolutions and your power on your ball. A fingertip grip's a little more lively than the conventional grip for the new bowler. And then we talk about the cover of the ball. We have two bowling balls here. One's a very shiny ball. This ball is polished up so that the lanes are a little dry, no oil. The ball will skid down the lane farther. And as you can see, this ball is much more dull looking. It's a duller bowling ball, so if the lanes are a little oily and it's got fresh oil and heavy oil on the lanes, you pull out the ball that hooks more. Now we're going to watch Deandra as she throws these two bowling balls, the polished ball. Watch how much less it hooks. She's not going to move her feet or where she looks with her eyes, then she's going to throw the dull ball. Let's watch the difference between these two shots. And don't forget, after each shot, take your bowler's towel, the one you get here from the private coach, and wipe that oil off the ball. So we've talked about the grip, Coach. We've talked about the cover of the ball. Now let's talk about the pin position or the balance.
We have two different balls here that we're going to have Bill throw here in just a minute. And the thing that we want you to take a look at here is where you see these little small different colored circles. That's called the pin. And when you change that position on the bowling ball in relationship to your track, it changes what the ball does. If you notice this ball right here, this pin is underneath Bill's middle finger. This puts that pin closer to his track, makes that ball roll a little less aggressively, so to speak. It's a little weaker layout. This ball is going to have a nice, soft, even arc pattern. This ball, if you notice, the pin is quite a ways to the right of Bill's ring finger. This position puts the pin in a more aggressive layout. This ball will actually skid down the lane a little farther, and then it'll make a more violent move at the back end. And literally, we can take a look at Bill's shots that he made. The first shot with this ball with the pin underneath his middle finger is a much straighter shot. And then the second shot. Watch this shot. Bill gets in a little deeper. He sends this ball out to the right, and it has a very strong arcing action, real strong hook action at the pocket, creating a lot of pin action.
So there you have it. You put the same grip in different bowling balls, meaning this. Number one, you can change the cover from polished to sanded. You can change the pin position from a strong layout to a weaker layout, more hook, less hook. The message is this. You need at least two bowling balls. One that's polished, one that's sanded. Take the polished ball, put the pin over it so it goes straighter. Take the sanded ball, put it in a strong position, make it hook more. If you're a tournament player, though, you need four. 1, 2, 3, 4. heavy sanded, light polish, heavy polish. Now you have 4 different coefficient of frictions. That's the message. Own some different bowling balls. Coach, that's what we all need to do.
Absolutely. Here's the secret key. Have different balls for different lane conditions.